Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another Month of Terror. This time we're talking about a 2023 American supernatural horror comedy. It's a remake that's actually not a bad remake, directed by Justin Simeon from a screenplay by Katie Dippold. Yes, the same writer that wrote Ghostbusters 2016, yet this is not a man-hating movie. Think about that. It stars Lakeith Stanfield, he's great. Tiffany Haddish, Owen Wilson, Danny DeVito, Rosario Dawson, Ahsoka herself, in a better role this time. Dan Levy, Jamie Lee Curtis, Rock On, and Jared Leto in an unrecognizable role. It's a second theatrical adaptation of the Walt Disney theme park attraction, The Haunted Mansion. Yeah, following the 2003 movie with Eddie Murphy. This is a completely different film. It's not the beat for beat same as the original. It's completely different. It's more serious at times and darker, and it's not a kid's movie. So don't be fooled by the Disney Plus logo. This is not a kid's movie. It's very creepy, and there's a lot of atmosphere that's going to go over kids' heads and terrify them. The film stars Gabby, who's Rosario Dawson, and Travis, her little 9-year-old boy, enlist the aid of a team of Stanfield, Haddish, Wilson, and DeVito to help exorcise their mansion and destroy the ghosts around them. And this movie got unfairly criticized by critics, and it bombed at the box office. It should not have been released in July. This would have done banging business if it was a lower budget and it was released in October or January, not in the dead of summer where Barbie and Oppenheimer were conquering everything. And the budget is $150 million. The money is on the screen, I can say that. Unlike some movies this year where it looked like a bad video game, the effects look good here. Don't let the trailers fool you. The trailer is a lie. Those effects look much better in the film than in the trailer. I assure you. It got mixed reviews from critics, but I don't care about critics. Audiences seem to like this one. I got an 84% audience score. That means that it has its fans, even if Josh is not, because he's scared of everything. I get it. Oh, everything new, different. I can't do that. I can deal with that because I'm used to dealing with different. Once the pandemic happened, anything goes. You can't be afraid of everything. Anyway, it grossed $114 million on a budget of $150. Yeah, it was a failure, but it could have done better if they released it earlier or later. Because it's not a bad movie. Like the plot is, astrophysicists is developing a camera to detect dark matter and meets and marries Alyssa, a ghost tour guide, and becomes entranced with her belief in the supernatural. After Alyssa dies in a car crash, it's a very emotional performance by Lakeith Stanfield. He's great. Should get an Oscar soon. Ben gives up his career and continues to run the ghost tour. Then he meets Gabby and her son, and they go to the mansion. He gets his money. He stays there, and a bunch of weird, crazy, supernatural stuff ensues. And I will say this, it's not flawless. I think the movie is a little bit too long. The original's about 89 minutes. This one's 2 hours and 3 minutes. There's a couple of scenes that could have been cut and characters that could have been cut out that are not part of the plot. Like Joy Coy, he could have been cut. He's a bartender. He could have been cut. One of the tour guides, Winona Ryder has a cameo. She's fine. The other tour guide could have been cut. And some side characters in the town, they could also be cut for time. It's not the worst remake, Spidey. I've seen way worse in this decade. The Little Mermaid is way worse than this, and I know it. It's much longer, and it's not necessary. I like the characters, too. The sense of humor they have, their rapport, they have good chemistry. Jamie Lee Curtis's Madame Yoda, the costume that she has is amazing. Absolutely amazing. It should get an Oscar nomination for that. And don't say because it's a Disney movie. Plenty of Disney movies got Oscar nominations. Look at Mary Poppins. Look at The Jungle Book. Live action. Yeah. Even lesser Disney movies got Oscar nominations for either the animation or for like effects or something. Marilu Henner, she's a tourist in New Orleans. It takes place in New Orleans this time, not like in the original. And I think it's better than the original. Leto is Alistair Crump. He's the Hatbox Ghost. Very, very creepy. He's like got a haunting voice. He's not tweaking. He doesn't have grills in his teeth like Joker. He's actually competent here. And it's not bad CG like in Morbius. Owen Wilson does fine. He's playing a priest, but, he's actually a con man. But it is what it is. Tiffany Haddish actually made me laugh a couple of times. She got a laugh or two out of me here. because she's not screaming half of her dialogue. And she has these really long nails and a tashiki. Trying to be like a Madame Cleo from the 90s. But the film is underrated. I don't think it's as bad as critics say it is. It's fun. It's not for kids, though. If your kids are 13, they can handle it. But if they're 5, no, wait a few years. Just let them see the Eddie Murphy movie, because the spirits here look scary. They're not the makeup effects on the actors and the glowing blue images that run through the screen. Yeah, it's not for kids. Trust me. It's got PG-13 written all over it with its tone and the action and some of the violence. There's no gore or anything, but it's not for kids. Like the Pirates of the Caribbean films are not for kids. So know what you're getting into before you see this movie. But Lakeith is great. His performance, his character, what he goes through, you can see all the pain in his eyes in every scene that he's in. It looks like Kofi Kingston and the guy from Get Out, and a little bit of my friend Josh, because of emotional, and he has the same skin tone. Hey there, John. I thought this movie was okay, unlike other Disney adaptations, and it's not a musical. There's one song at the end, the song from the Haunted Mansion, the Grim and Ghosts, from the actual ride. There's music from the ride. It's got the spirit of the ride. And being based on a ride, the fact that they made a story that flowed is better than having no plot. I would take this a million times over Jungle Cruise or Tomorrowland. Those are just failures, and they bothered me. The CG was troublesome. It was laughable, and it had bintos up the wazoo. No Brits in this movie. Yeah, you don't need them. They don't own the Hollywood system. Anyway, I think that the movie's underrated. Go see it for yourself. It's on Disney Plus. The diversity doesn't feel forced here. There's no preaching message. The message is you got to move on from your grief. You got to let it go, leave it in the past, a wink, wink, and move forward. That's what all of us have to do. So that's what I want to do in 2024, not live in the past. But thanks for watching, guys, my review of Haunted Mansion 2023. It's not that bad. It's got flaws. It's a little bit too long, and they could cut some scenes or shorten some scenes, like a lot of movies this year, but it's worth your time. Thank you. Acknowledge me, and see you in the next review.